Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and welcome to this special year-end holiday-ish edition of Illiana Stock Car Radio.
Yeah, we are special tonight, aren't we?
We are. We're special.
You don't know this. Yeah.
Yeah, we're special every night. Everybody knows.
Also, what'd you call me?
Yes, that too. I had 3 hoes in there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Episode 80 of Illiana Stock Car Radio
Still
podcast. Still old. 80.
Still half-assed, and we made it to 80.
I know. Fumbling the bag and still got the 80 episodes. So it's still working out for us.
What am I up to? 6?
How many have we done this
How many
year?
have you spoken on?
Speaked?
Speaked.
He has an English degree.
Clearly not as many as me.
Yeah.
Hey, I used it the other day.
Well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Clearly not today.
No.
Well, either way.
Congratulations on 80 shows.
80 shows. I know it feels like a milestone. I don't know, just because it ends in a 0, probably.
Yeah.
Also, it's the last one of the year.
Last one for 2023.
So you won't have to hear/see us till next year.
I know, that's a long time.
Give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're doing one like first week of January, right?
Well, we'll see. We'll get through this one first. Yeah, a few things, loose ends, call them, to tie up for this year. Obviously,
Doesn't Sirius have a patent on that one?
I don't know if they do or not. I really don't. But well, I guess they might. But we'll go with it. It's okay.
Their loose ends are highlights from the week. Our loose ends are when we have schedule conflicts and do the PRI show 3 weeks after PRI.
That's true. I think it's 2 weeks.
Close enough.
Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Either way.
By the time this is out, it'll be almost 3.
Correct, because this will come out on Friday. So,
Yeah.
But a few things we want to wrap up for this year. Obviously, our trip to PRI, Brian's first adventure. So we obviously want to talk about that. A couple racing-related announcements have come out since we were supposed to record this show. So
it all worked out.
A blessing in
Everything
disguise.
happened the way it was supposed to, even though it didn't happen the way that we planned it.
And maybe we planned it this way. Maybe somehow
Life is what happens when you're busy making plans.
ESPN somehow just knew. We just knew.
You watching SRX?
Well, yeah, who doesn't?
True.
So we want to talk about that. Things that the announcements, a few schedule things are kind of that we're already starting to take shape, and then just kind of some thoughts and reflections and prep for 2024. So I think the big thing, let's start with PRI, and we were able to take a couple little video and clips and picture clips. So go ahead and enjoy that right now, and then we'll let the man talk about it.
Well, it was my first time, as we found out. And, really just, wow, overwhelming, really. Just from getting up at 6, so I got to sleep in. For those of you that don't know, I deliver beer and I clock in at 5:15, so getting to sleep until 6 was nice. We got some donuts and hightailed it down to Indy, and, almost had a little bit of road rage incident.
A little bit.
Imagine that, race car guys getting impatient behind slow traffic.
Yeah,
no surprise.
Yeah, so just
Those truck drivers, man.
Yeah, them truck drivers.
and jacked them up and put them in the fence.
I'm the king of the road, baby.
Yeah, I want to go 1 mile an hour than the truck next to me.
Yeah.
I'll pass them eventually.
Yeah, it might take a while, 20 miles, but we'll get it.
Yeah. And so just, walking in and all the cars are lined up there, and, we had to go get a few credentials because they didn't come in the mail. And it was just really in awe of just the sheer magnitude of the event, and I hadn't even walked in yet, and as soon as we did enter the, I don't know what you would call it, the convention center part of it.
Well, it is the Indiana Convention Center, so
Yeah, right. And I mean, it's just motorsports and race car parts and just performance parts from left to right, up to down, as far as the eye can see. And I think the coolest part was just it involves every part of motorsports. I was a little disappointed I didn't see more car builders. I think that was something I was kind of excited to see. Maybe Elite had a booth or Left Hander or something. But I mean, truthfully, those guys are so backed up with work anyway. Like, they don't need to sell themselves, and so like, I get it. But yeah, it would have been cool to see like stuff like that. But I mean, we ran into I can't even count on my 2 hands and 2 feet how many people ran into from the motorsports world that I may have not seen in person. But we see him on TV.
No, you have a picture of Tyler Erb.
Yeah, the second one I saw. The first one I saw was Hudson O'Neal walking past. The second one was Tyler Erb, and I said hi to him. He didn't know who the hell I was, but little known fact,
because you weren't wearing your GP stuff like I was.
yeah,
Yeah, he was. He was in bright freaking yellow.
Oh, that is
highlighter,
true. You
his
were.
highlighter yellow.
I forgot
Couldn't
about
miss
that.
him.
Yeah, that's right. You watch the video. I said hi to him, and little known fact, he did win the. He was on timeout with World of Outlaws and Dirt Car, so he ran with.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah, because him and Bobby Pierce got into it.
Well, there. I think you just upset half of our viewing audience with that.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce was allowed to keep going. Turbo had to take a timeout. Timeout, Turbo. You can use that in your next T-shirt.
Oh, there we go.
That good freaking design.
Yeah, right. But anyway, he won the Renegades of Dirt late model show because he was allowed to race that series. And then, we begin meandering, and as you can see, we follow fearless leader Stan, and he is
We
dead
put
set.
him in a neon green.
Yeah,
Yes, right.
he's dead set on what he needs to do.
He shops like a guy.
But
That's
like,
really it. Like he has his hit list, and we have no like plan. Just we've got to hit these places, and whatever route we take to get there, that's where we're going.
but something catches his eye.
Oh yeah.
Oh man! So we
don't
must have
call
stopped
Leah
this
Pruitt
extra.
something.
Yeah, and we saw plenty of females that belong to the racing world as well. And as you saw the video with Leah, with Stan trying to make good for Tony, that was neat. And honestly,
Tony, we apologize. Leah, thank you for being an amazing person.
Yeah, she's a good sport.
when we walked up,
Well, considering we weren't trying to invite her to, Brian's about to tell the story.
Yeah.
when we walked up, my first thought was, "Who are you, and why are you in the racing world?" Second, I found out that she was the NHRA drag champion for whatever class she runs, and thirdly, Tony Stewart's
Top
wife.
Fuel, I believe.
Top Fuel.
The big ones that go really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And-
long skinny ones.
And then the guy in front of us was inviting her to his wedding.
Yeah, pretty sure he was trying to convince her to occupy the open spot by the altar.
Probably.
Here's a date. Just show up, wear something white.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah. And then we began meandering and, ran into John Force unknowingly. And
Well, no, he was supposed to be there. It's
We
the two
weren't.
guys you walked past. It was Donnie Schott and Greg Zippadelli.
oh,
I
yeah.
had to, hey, turn around. Those
Yeah.
guys are famous too.
Yeah. And it's really kind of humbling to see these big names as real people, because they're just icons on the TV screen that we watch and cheer on whatever race day it
Right. I
is.
think last time I saw Greg Zippadelli, he was on a pit box and one of the pit road reporters just shoving a mic in his face.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I've gone to one of those shows yet where I have not seen Zippadelli in one way
Well,
or
I'm
another.
pretty sure I almost ran into Ray Evernham again.
Yep. He's usually there. With the
It
valve
was like,
lane stuff. and
3 intersections later. Then wait a minute, that guy kind of looked like
Yeah, yeah, he's usually there because I think he's involvement with, I think it's SRI.
Yeah, SRX.
Yeah, well, SR
that
the
too.
shot company,
Right.
and then with
Which
Valvoline.
don't
and
use
Rep
them. Use
there.
FRS.
Yeah, FRS. Good people.
So that was just the first building.
Yeah.
Then we
Right.
walked into the other one, and we same thing, bing bonged around, hit a few spots. Stan and Frank Cryer, who raced at
Yeah.
Illiana, we have
Yep.
pictures of. That was kind of neat. They were
Yeah,
trading
they were talking
stories.
for a while.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get some secrets out of Frank
No,
because Frank builds all of his own
it's Stan.
stuff.
yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
we were admiring his, let's call it handiwork.
Yep.
yeah. Then went down and ran into the Larson family.
I believe they ran into us.
Yeah,
Also, when is he gonna get his T-shirts?
yeah. They're coming. They're coming. First in line. They're coming. In the middle of it. Then
Just in case, because he's gonna be watching and want an answer to that question.
yeah, I'll wait for the text. And then we meandered down to Brembo where we found Stan talking to the brake guy.
Yeah, he was talking to the brake guy and drooling on the snowball derby truck.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. Never been to the snowball, watched it a few times, sort of thing. Followed along really, and there sits the trophy that Ty just won. It was pretty cool. Then we went over, had lunch, and I know was it Nick? Was that his name? Was drooling over the one trailer like just buy it. It was pretty wild and
Yeah, those are some nice haulers.
Yeah, that's usually kind of the crescendo of the
definitely
day.
an upgrade from what S4 has right now.
Yeah,
Doesn't look as cool.
Well, and what S4 has now is a huge upgrade over what S4 had.
yeah,
That's true.
correct.
Slow build.
That's
Slow
all
build.
Trying to
This is-
sell me a merch trailer.
We were trying to work on the Good Acre Photography merch trailer there.
Yeah, well, if we sell a few more shirts, they're coming, Travis, TJ. They're coming,
gonna
TJ.
say, I think we're trying to sell a few more shirts.
Yeah, they're coming. They're coming.
So, how did the show compare to what your expectations were?
Okay, so I texted Kelsey, my wife, and the way I explained it to her was, I said, "This is really cool. It would be like if she's big into concerts and music." So I said, this would be like if you went to a trade show for concerts and they're selling speakers, they're selling wires, they're selling, I don't know, maybe merch people sort of thing. Hey, we do T-shirts, and then you
Except for
see
the Larsons, apparently.
you see your your smaller bands walking around buying, but then you would run into say Priyanka Jonas. I don't even know if she goes by Jonas, but Nick Jonas's wife, but not Nick, just his wife.
Nick could be there signing autographs like John Force.
Yeah, right, true. So it was just, it's cool to see all that. I really have no need for any of it, but it's cool to go in and see all the new technology, the cars that are wrapped. I know there's some series that are there and they're pushing. They're a lot of schedule announcements come out right about that time, and I mean it's awesome, overwhelming but awesome. If you get the chance to go down, do it. See people, get some autographs. Maybe you run into a Leah Pruitt or a John Force, or stop and talk to somebody that raced 45 years ago but builds all their own stuff. Not that they'd probably
I
be
think
there.
when we were talking with Butch Hatton at, was it Racing Liquidators?
Race Parts Liquidators.
Yeah, there you go. Here's your
.com.
plug. Billy Kuhn used to race at Illiana. He was
Yeah,
walking away as
yeah.
we were.
Well, his son Dan runs Dan runs late models, the pro lates, the crate lates, in the area.
Whatever division.
Yeah, yeah. The late models that don't go so fast.
Right.
Yeah.
So the bigger thing, you coming back with us next year?
If I got if it all times out right, because I don't know what weekend it is.
Same
weekend every year.
Cool. Yeah.
It's usually that second weekend in December.
you-
usually.
Okay, I will,
we have a much worse reason to remember that weekend, but that's the
I
weekend it
will
is.
tentatively plan. I'll put it in. I know I got a few extra vacation days scheduled yet, but yeah, and I think I'll take more video because I won't be so overwhelmed.
Yeah,
Right.
I think they put the date out. I think it's like 12th, December 12th. I think is
think
what
so.
it was. Well, that would be the Friday, which is the day we go.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The one thing that I wish we had time for, and I know Stan shops like a guy, but maybe you and me, I want to do a lot of the educational sessions that they've got going on, because I was looking through, like, some of these would be
pretty
Some
neat.
of these would be pretty neat.
I've only been so one year I went is we went to a couple of the seminars just kind of in and out about shocks, and at that time it was bump stops and everything else.
Right.
So you definitely can learn a lot. There's a lot of there's a lot of like the marketing, the social media,
Yeah, that was the big thing this year. Is there was several of those.
There's a
going
lot.
on.
There's a lot
Apparently,
for
that's becoming a big thing.
yeah. There's a lot to do for track promoters, and things about like that safety, a lot of that, and then of course your technical seminars from your shot guys and everything else. So there's definitely a lot to choose from. They run them multiple times. So that's definitely, if you're going to do the show plus some of the seminars, that's definitely a all day thing, or you stay the night and kind of make it a 2-day thing.
Well, as Brian didn't find
dinner.
out first person, but through the grapevine, that you don't get quite as good deals at the show as you do after hours at the show.
Yes, yeah, all the deals are made usually in the bar after the show.
That's when Jeff spends all of Stan's money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Stan spends the rest when we get there within
Yeah.
30 minutes. So, so Chris, what were your takeaways from the show?
Well, my takeaway is I went in knowing full well what to expect and was still blown away. Us being able to apologize to Leah Pruitt for insulting Tony Stewart all those years ago.
It was not us.
Okay.
There was no
Stan.
us.
Stan apologizing for Stan insulting, but we've come full circle. Worst case scenario, they got a good story over dinner. Hey, you remember that one guy that was a jerk? And
Yeah,
which
that's
I'm
true.
sure Tony runs into a lot of those.
Yeah, maybe one or two.
But so watching Stan spend that much money in that short amount of time is always fun. I was kind of drawn in by the different stuff. Like there was first right off the bat, Darrell Waltrip's 1987 All-American 400. Oh, I love that car.
Good old Tide
When I explain to people
or Camaro, Tide Camaro.
Yes.
Tide Camaro.
When I explain to people what my dream car is, and they look at me like I got 3 heads when I say it's the Gen 3 Camaro, that's why. I've seen enough of those cars. I absolutely hate the interior of those cars. I was actually talking about this at work today. I absolutely hate the interior of those cars because it is such a 1980s interior. But the body is that's what a race car should look like.
Yeah, I know where you can get one cheap.
But the inside, I just want the body painted up like my car and raceable. Don't get ideas. Don't get ideas, Stan. And then we did our going through and our looking at the cool stuff. Like Dale Jr.'s late model was there. I guess second cousin friend to the show, David Stremme, had one of his late models there. We're pretty tight. Modified, yeah, you're right. Modified there, and we're pretty tight with the Stremmes through Plymouth and Shady Hill and South Bend. So it's like 3 degrees of separation, which
Not the full 6, but
right. It's Dad was always good about. He knew enough people that there wasn't 6. It was Dad. Who do you know that knows?
Right.
No humble brag about that 5-star exhibit.
I was gonna bring the catalog. One of our
We
pictures
made it in.
Made the 5-star
Well,
catalog.
You made it in. You're famous.
Yeah, Christy Penrod. You got to mention not only in this show but also in the 5-star catalog.
That's a twofer.
It is.
Yeah.
They didn't pay anything for it or give us credit for it, but now you know.
But it's there.
But it's there. I recognize it as one of our pictures. All the cool stuff that we always see, and it sounds so mundane, but it's all this cool stuff that we always see.
Right.
Just I don't have the technical knowledge to be like, oh wow, that brake is now a 1/16 of an inch wider, and all that mechanical stuff. I don't know. These look cool. Excuse me. And then hear me out. The section with the electric vehicles. Just the concept there is
The
just wild.
last 10 people that were watching our show just turned it off.
Just like I don't want to go electric. I like race cars to be race cars, but just seeing the battery in the front of a late model, it's like, huh. Okay, yeah, that maybe could work. So just seeing, how far that technology has come as a separate thing, not replacing, racing the way we like it, but just it's interesting to see how far it's come.
Sure.
And then Brian's been waiting to make fun of me for this. So the entire esports section they had going on,
Yeah.
you know,
I see what's getting ready to tee up in his
I
mind.
told you. We didn't even talk about this on the way over tonight, but I knew it was going to come. So I figured I'd, throw myself in front of the bus before he gets a chance.
Oh, we're running you over.
But just, I was talking to a creator that I first time I'd ever met her, but I've been following her on Twitch and Instagram for a while. She streams on Twitch F1 races, NASCAR races, iRacing, just building a motorsports community, and she works for Red Bull F1, and she hosts the NASCAR actual NASCAR Twitch. So she got credentials. So it was fun getting to meet her and talk with her about how this is e-racing is it's not car on track racing, but it's definitely more than when we started just futzing around on a computer with NASCAR racing too.
I started with NASCAR 1, but the OG.
I eventually got that one. When I got into it, 2 was the current model.
Yes.
I think I prefer 2 over 1.
Agreed.
And then, NASCAR 2003, when we really started getting into it, and, what you can do outside of just playing the game in front of you.
Right. I thought the esports thing was really big this year. I think that was kind of the big thing this year. I feel like every year they kind of have, some kind of focus, and I think this year was trying to get some of that younger crowd in there with
how many times have we said we need younger race fans?
Yeah, with the esports section of it, with the electric vehicle section of it. Obviously that's it's a younger generation thing. And then they had the karting event that was going on there in the dome.
Shout out to local Josh Link Jr. for winning that.
Yeah.
So
apparently he's
if you can drive a Shady
now.
Hill, you can drive anywhere.
Well, it was on these like poly tiles, so
Right,
it was pretty much like drift carts, basically.
So the fact that he's driven a dirt car.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
I think the rest of the people competing were just like social media influencers.
That's what it looked like. So he definitely had a leg above. So that was good for him. But yeah, definitely little things like that, trying to get the younger folks there and out. Some of those esports guys were taking it way serious, like with gloves and everything else.
There's a couple of race shoes.
No,
didn't see anybody with a helmet, but I wasn't looking that hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you were. You're a content creator.
Oh yeah.
We're standing in line for food. Next thing we know, he's making a beeline for this chick.
Yeah, we're talking. Okay, you want the cantina? You want a sandwich? What do you want? And I turn around and ask my brother. He's gone.
He's his asses and elbows across the stadium.
Did he go take a leak? Where'd he go? We're looking. We're spinning around the room, and like a hawk, I see him off in the corner. And he's hugging a girl. I go, holy shit, he's hugging a girl. You getting her number?
No.
Hey, man, what happens in Indy?
I believe that's Vegas, but different thing.
This one was Indy.
He was your dad, too. We learned from the best.
We did. We know how to talk.
Hey, hence why we're all here talking.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's how it is. But yeah, PRI, a good show for me.
Did you buy anything this year?
I did not.
So you're set to go for 2024?
I'm set to go. Yeah, last year I got my ear molds for radios, but
I was trying to remember what else we bought. The kid needed a new chair.
Kid needed a new seat. Yep,
grown quite out of his current one.
Yep, he's finally decided to grow up. So he needed to get an adult seat for his car. So yeah, we got that. What else? Radios, usually racing electronics.
Radios, so that's where we ran into Zipadelli and Shots
and
John Force, and I don't even remember who it was standing next to John Force.
The two other
John
guys.
Force is very John Force.
Well, it was John Force and Robert Height were signing autographs, and there was a third one there. I don't remember who that was.
Brennan and Riley had no idea who John Force was.
No, that was freaking great. So a couple of the guys that are on our team, they younger guys, they don't follow drag racing much. If it was a Monster Jam guy, like Riley would have known like all about it. If it was like Greg Anderson or something like that.
I saw somebody posted a picture. Dennis Anderson was walking around. Yeah, we completely missed him.
I was like, Greg Anderson. I'm still in NHRA, pro stocker. But yeah, Yeah, if it was anybody like Monster Jam, Riley would have known. But so yeah, we're standing at this table waiting for Stan to do his thing. John Force Racing rep he's there. He's putting out the driver cards on this little stand that we're kind of all just leaning on. We ain't really paying attention. We're just waiting. And John Force just starts walking up. Okay, who wants pictures? Who wants an autograph?
Yeah. I was talking to him and making a comment to this this random guy that walked up. Like, yeah, John Force lives at these things. All he does is walk around and sign autographs.
And the guy's like, "Yep."
And he's like, "Yeah, as long as you know where he's
as
at.
long as you know where he's at."
And I look at his tag and
he's
with
right
John
there.
Force.
Yeah, yep, he is right there. So.
Usually when we see him, he's up on the NHRA stage talking about something.
Yeah, because just usually outside, kind of in between the two buildings in the corridor there, NHRA on Fox, they've got like a nice stage set up, and they're doing interviews all day. And yeah, it seems like every time we walk past, it's John Force or somebody from John Force Racing or whatnot on there. So.
And I looked up, because I followed him on Instagram after he got suggested to me after this thing.
Yeah.
And I looked up his schedule.
Subliminal messaging.
Yeah. I think my phone's tracking
Algorithm.
me. But he had like 20-minute slots at every booth. Like every 20 minutes of his day, he was signing autographs except for a half-hour break for lunch.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's but he's a man of the people. He was out there. He was it was cool to interact with him. He's a legend of the sport. It's it'd be the equivalent of walking up and seeing like a Mario Andretti out there or Jeff Gordon. They are icons of their particular motorsport. So to be able to rub elbows with those folks and being a grassroots, at that level, that to me is what PRI is all about. And then it's usually good too, because by the end of the race season, we're all burned out, we're all tired, but going there and kind of getting that dose of what's to come next year kind of keeps the batteries going, kind of charges you up for the off season to get out and work on your stuff and prep for next year. So next year. Speaking of getting hyped up for next year and everything, we did get a few clue-ins on some schedule items for next year already.
Not the one I'm waiting for yet.
We getting ready to call somebody out?
Save the best for last, right?
Well, I talked to them last week, and they're still ironing out some bugs because apparently there's a lot of opinions on the schedule these days.
Opinions.
Since everybody thinks that nobody else is racing Saturday, why don't we? All the drivers want to race Friday.
Just send me an expected drivers list. I might be there.
So the first item or event that was announced was this is the Spring Classic at the Grundy County Speedway. Saturday night, April 20th will be the opening night. Have the big 8 late models coming through. You've probably seen them at Rockford, but they are going to migrate south a little bit, invade the Grundy County Speedway, in addition to the Mid-Am Racing Series and the new Grundy County Speedway Super Cup Series.
That'll ruffle some feathers.
But yeah, we're not controversial here at all.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Hey, business.
Yeah, that was... So, fun story about that. So, I was at King Hobbies a couple weeks ago, and I got a very frantic text message, Facebook message, and missed phone call from Steve Bechtel. And, hey, we need a flyer for, right now. Because it was the day before the rules meeting, and they wanted to announce it at the rules meeting.
Sure.
So, thankfully we were racing on Saturday, and I was home by 8, so I could make that flyer. But, yeah, so I know Alex Papini has some conflicting emotions on calling it the Spring Classic, because that was Rockford's race, and I know Grundy's kind of ruffled some feathers with, the Bettenhausen and not that being Illiana's race, but either way, it's racing, it's happening.
Well, I mean, I think when you think the asphalt track that's left,
Right.
trying to absorb that local racing history and preserve it as best you can and honor that. It's not you can't replace it.
Right.
You can't replace Rockford and the events that happen there. You can't replace Illiana and the events that happen there. But if it's the one place everybody can congregate to,
keep the spirit
and you
alive.
keep the spirit of the events alive, tell stories, honor, past winners of the Bentonhausen or, honor the Spring Classic, whether or the Bahama Brackets, whatever's going to happen with that. If as long as you do it in good taste, and in good faith, it's what we got left. And this is what we got to work with.
Right.
So,
the fact that we still have a place to race is a good thing.
yeah. So let's just take it. Let's make the most of it. Let's pack the stands on these events and let's go. So, looks like it's going to be a good event. As far as I know, that's for Motorsports. We're at least going to be aiming
Gonna
for
have the GCS Super
the
Cup.
GCS Super Cup out there. So that is the plan right now, and that has already been confirmed with Stan. Now, things change and schedules and can get weird, but that's the plan right now. Also, the Grundy County Speedway ASA Midwest Tour announces their schedule. So July 13th is the date for the Wayne Carter Classic 100.
I think that's
Grundy County Speedway.
The late model going to be ready by then?
Late model will be ready, but last year we opted to skip the Midwest Tour race. Just we ran it a couple years ago, and it was cool to be a part of it. But it takes money to run those a lot, and
Those are some big dogs.
some big dogs, and you got to pony up some big green to run with them, and for the price of doing that, we can run a couple extra regular nights. So it's kind of a balance, give and take. So we'll see what we don't really know what the late model schedule is going to look like next year.
Right.
So we'll kind of see
that hasn't been announced yet.
It has not been announced yet. So I know they're all working on that, and everybody's eagerly awaiting. Hopefully, this first week of January, we can maybe start seeing some more of these schedules.
Yeah.
And then the third bit of item was just announced, I think, yesterday, earlier this week, whenever you're watching this in past tense. Dirt Car Summer Nationals Hell Tour is going to come into Shady Hill Speedway Tuesday, July 9th. That's your neck of the woods there,
Yeah,
Brian.
baby. Bringing them back.
Hopefully it doesn't rain this time.
Yeah, true. I know we had the big 10K, 5K to win set up last year. Rain ruined that, and I think rain ruined 5 out of 6 consecutive weeks.
Pretty sure nature was.
It was very rough. Beer sales were down. Hot dog sales were down. We had to throw them out to the crowd.
No, hot dog sales were up because we had to throw them out to the crowd.
But yes, and fun fact, I'm not sure when the announcement is being made, but I do have the schedule. Putting the graphics together for Billy and Tammy. They're excited. I'm excited. I think we're going to see. I know we're going to see some changes are kind of looming.
Didn't you try that last year and threw Billy and Tammy for a curve?
Yeah.
Trying to manifest it over here.
That was the engine claim rule, which became very dramatic, very hot topic there towards the end of the season.
So you were just forecasting.
Yeah, right. But anyway, yes. So Shady Hill has announced White Lightning opening night. The first weekend in May, and they have announced the Hell Tour returning. I would assume modifieds, but they're not listed on the Hell Tour site, and I haven't seen anything confirming modifieds would be there. But this is Indiana, man. It's a modified hotbed, right behind sprint cars. Nerds. Also, I saw Kankakee has announced some of their stuff. I know they've got. I think it's opening night, but it's that second weekend in April. They're doing the Lee Hall Memorial. I think it's April 12th maybe, and they announced their I think it's Thursday night, maybe, for Hell Tour. They've got that early Hell Tour schedule night. I know Mars has released their schedules. Dirt Car has released all of their Hell Tour. I know all the World of Outlaws. That's what PRI also serves for all these touring series. Hey, we're all together. Y'all get awards, and we're going to announce the schedule.
Yeah, because was it Midwest Tour gave out some trophies?
Like the Midwest Tour did. I think
or was it the National Series?
It was the National Series.
Okay.
It was the National Series. They did their banquet pretty much.
I'm a little still confused by which series is which these days because it's all the same thing now.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, PRA is a good opportunity for them to get together and do all that stuff. I know, like IndyCar and open wheel stuff. They really do a lot of things there as well.
To wonder why.
Yeah, I know, right? They do a lot there as far as that stuff goes. But I already got some things cooking for next year and a lot to look forward to on the racing side. Now let's talk about 2024 resolutions and goals and things we want to do here next year on the podcast, Illiana Stock Car Radio. Because, I assume everybody's still going to watch and listen next year.
I hope
that would be the hope, right?
I know I will.
You better.
You should. Kelsey might.
You
when
better
you're
listen.
On.
Yeah.
I know Mom will.
Yeah,
Casey will probably listen to the audio version.
Yeah, we renewed Brian's contract for another year. He's coming back. You know.
Yeah.
I don't remember him signing that piece
We're-
of paper, but I'll take it.
Yeah, we're grandfathered in, you know.
You signed
it's-
that check?
It happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll bounce, but it's signed. So going forward in 2024, we've kind of talked about kind of what we want to do. Obviously, with the three of us, we got a lot going on from work, home, the extracurricular stuff. Me working on race cars, you guys taking pictures and editing pictures and designing race cars. So
Don't forget the t-shirts.
and the t-shirts. Hey, that's the thing
No,
for you. Don't
you
forget
don't
the
forget the
t-shirts.
t-shirts.
So there's a lot going on. So it is difficult for us to find time to come together and record these in-person shows like this. So that's why it takes a month or two for us to kind of get something going on. It's life.
Case in point, we're talking about PRI now.
Yeah, a couple weeks late. So it does happen. So obviously the beginning of this show was audio only episodes, and we've done audio episodes and then streaming episodes and things where we're not necessarily in studio together. So we're going to try to get back to some of that a little bit. I think what we want for our audio only shows is, maybe do it every couple of weeks, kind of just do some quick hits on what's going on in the local racing community. If we can, or if we're at the track, grab some sound bites from some competitors, about the latest and greatest going on at the track. That's kind of what we want to do. That way we can get more content out to you guys, kind of feed that itch, because we've got a handful of people that always ask, when's the next show coming? When's the next show coming?
Yeah,
You ain't done a
that's
show in a
usually
while.
the second question after where's my t-shirts.
Where's my t-shirts and where's the next show?
Yeah.
So we want to do that, and then monthly or so, we want to do either an on location or come together in studio like this, and have a big, more, I can't say professional show. This is very unprofessional, but
We ain't
Okay.
even got scripts.
I mean, no scripts, yo.
What do you think's on his iPad?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, really,
it's an
what we're
outlet.
looking
It's
for
more
is-
like guidelines, really.
So I think what you're trying to get at, what I've been kind of spearheading, I guess, is more content, but less. I don't want to say less effort, but kind of less effort.
We want quantity over quality. Is really what we want. That's what we're going for.
No. Yes, but no. Because really, it kind of boils down to I don't want Schwartz yelling at me anymore.
Fair.
So
He doesn't yell at you.
well, you don't see the Facebook messages he sends me.
You don't see the Facebook messages he sends me.
Okay, so I don't want Schwartz yelling at us anymore.
I would say I don't get Facebook messages, but then I'll get one from him. And
Yeah, Bob, take care of that. So yeah, really, we started off doing audio. It was going really great. Jeremy and I having me at the same place to do the audio was a little schedule-y, but worst case, we all have computers.
I do.
You all
need
have a microphone here.
I do
pretty
need a
soon.
microphone and a
Yeah,
headset, probably.
Yeah, we'll get you set up with
get him
that.
squared away.
So we can
I
spit
could
out.
just call in.
Well, no, because we need the person to. Anyway, so what I was thinking is, all of the wrestling podcasts that I follow, they've got a YouTube video that's a picture and the audio of the YouTube or the podcast. I'm thinking, we end up kind of like that, and we put out more content more often so that we don't get, hey, when's your next episode? I've run out. Casey Martin, Bob Schwartz, Brandon Barknecht.
Yeah.
So that allows us to have more people on, tell more stories,
Keep tradition alive.
and
Keep
not
tradition alive.
have the, I guess, full blown, all hands on deck, lots of scheduling to work.
Scheduling and planning and effort.
Because you can sit at your computer, I can sit at my computer, he can sit at his computer, and we're fine.
That's it. Yeah, we can sit there and
Because I know Bechtel never wants to be on camera anyway.
it's true.
And Tony's so hard to nail down. Sometimes
He's a busy man.
Yeah.
He's a busy man. He's a busy, important man. So that's the direction we want to go for 2024. And then try to, bring more of the dirt in.
we're getting
Once
dirty.
again, so we're not getting yelled at by Schwartz.
Yeah, and then
We're getting dirty.
you got here Western Asphalt versus Eastern Asphalt. So I'm guessing you've got Plymouth guys versus Grundy guys is basically what we're going on here.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
I always kind of said after I started venturing out east that like the LaPorte St. Joe County line divides Wisconsin and Michigan as far as racing. out that way, everybody's running outlaw lates with, the flat sheet metal bodies, and everybody west is putting a lot of time and effort into having Mitch Garfield do a thing.
Running real late models. Sorry.
With radios and mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah, I might catch some flack for that one, but super late model guys here.
Tony still likes us. He'll have us run around a little bit before we get him on again. Although we did screw his up last time too.
Well, yeah, you know what? I'd prefer to think of it as so good we had to do it twice.
There you go.
Yeah,
kind of like tonight's episode.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, technical difficulties happen, and by doing
and we are technically difficult.
We are very technically difficult, and I think doing more of the audio, the virtual stuff might be a little less technical reliance. So it might be
I know it's going to be less work on you video editing.
Yes.
Should we take a poll to our listeners? Do you prefer?
No, it's holding up the.
Do you prefer to see us or hear us?
Ooh, I don't know.
So
I don't know if I want to ask that question.
I don't think I want the answer.
Neither.
Yes.
Don't comment down below.
Yes. Yeah, I think the answer is technically neither. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Also next year, as far as interacting, I want to make sure that we actually know what our social media passwords are and actually start posting on there. Kind of where we're at, what we're doing, what we've got coming up. Also get some feedback from you, who you'd like to see on the show or hear from on the show, or interact or reach out if you want to be on the show.
Yeah,
and subject yourself to this
I've already
misery.
got several people lined up for. I haven't told them when their torture is coming. They just know that it is.
Yeah, just know that the torture is incoming.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for 2024. Definitely going to take this little holiday break here and get going back in the new year. So that being said, to close out 2023, got to have one positive, right? 2023. So have at it.
Somebody didn't do their homework.
Oh man,
you know that we do this every episode.
My one positive is going to go last because I got to think about it.
Sounds about right. I think Chris probably has to think about it too, doesn't he?
I know his one positive. He hugged that girl.
She has a name.
He's probably the only one that knows it.
It is.
Yeah.
So let's make Jeremy go first.
My one positive to round out the show, I will focus on PRI. Just
Good choice.
Yeah, just the interactions we were able to get with some of the higher names in the motorsports industry. Usually, I feel really weird about like geeking out over people you see at PRI just because you're supposed to kind of be professional. You're supposed to kind of all be like
because they're there shopping too.
Yeah, they're doing their thing.
Remind myself that.
Yeah, they're kind of doing their obligations.
Except
They're still kind of working, but to be able to have interactions with them and for them not only to be able to have interactions, but them to be gracious in their interactions.
Yeah.
Like met Justin Allgaier.
And Leah Pruitt not, kicking us out of her booth.
Well, and she was super sweet, and talking to me and Stan. And she gave us, 10 minutes of her time.
Oh, yeah.
And she was completely entertained.
It's almost as much as the dude that tried to invite her to a wedding.
Almost. Yeah, exactly. So
she didn't look anywhere near as mad at Stan.
No, she didn't.
Except for I'm surprised he didn't punch you in the face comment.
Yeah,
that's more Tony's.
Yeah, but she was super great about it all. She was a good sport. Then I got.
I missed you running into.
Yeah, you guys were in a different booth, and Stan and I were headed to a different one by ourselves. Everybody had gone on, and a couple of years back, we actually almost ran over Justin Allgaier, kind of in passing in the aisleways there. So that was kind of funny. That to be able to come around now. And be able to talk to Justin and talk to him for a few minutes, which was really cool. He was super gracious, and so obviously we know and camp with the Martin clan. So Amy Martin, Mike Martin Jr.'s wife, is a Pullman. Jim Pullman is Justin Allgaier's crew chief in the Xfinity Series, which is her cousin.
6 degrees.
That is it. So I told Justin that, and he's like, "No way, that's awesome." And he, had a million positive things to say about Jim, in passing there. So yeah, no, it was cool to see them and to talk with Leah Pruitt and then see John Force and see these people actually now after so many years of going not feel awkward talking to them, interacting with them and having positive interactions.
Remember,
so.
we're celebrities too.
Yeah, we are small time,
but when people, It's always been that kind of is my mental thing, is when people are approaching me to say hi to me, we're celebrities. You know, walking through the pits at Illiana and John Nutley's, hey, Goodacre. We made it.
You guys have made it. I don't get that. So you guys have made it.
Well,
You're good.
You got to start wearing the neon green.
That must be it. On the neon yellow with the 30,
Although apparently
30s.
Tyler Erb doesn't remember.
Yeah, well, you know.
He wins a lot.
He does.
It
He
does
sees
happen.
lots of photographers.
Yeah.
That does happen.
Have you thought up yours, or am I going to have to talk about Ash? Fine. So yeah, my one positive actually is meeting Ash Vandalay at the Fanatec GT esports booth. So yeah, that was cool. Kind of like, Jeremy had said, meeting these celebrities, and they're real people. It's literally like Greg Zipadelli and Donnie Schatz standing there shopping at Racing Electronics. My first year, we were at Simpson Impact. We were shopping for a suit for Stan, so it must have been Impact.
Impact, yeah.
And there's Erica Enders right there.
Yep.
So being, in and around, in awe of these famous people, but also one of these famous people, I guess. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Good deal. Did you think of yours yet?
I'm gonna be honest. I've been listening, not thinking.
I can go on longer.
I don't know why it's so hard for me tonight,
That's what she said.
but and that is a wrap on 2023. Anyway,
Just consider that revenge, because I
That's
actually
good.
met and talked. Yeah,
You did?
she initiated the hug, so that was completely
I'm proud of you.
consensual.
I'm proud of you, older
Completely
brother.
consensual.
Yeah, when you get the cops called. Oh man. My one positive is how far we progressed on the show, and the
Yeah, I
You
remember
say
not
more than
talking.
2 words. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I have like 2 whole soliloquies.
He
almost.
drinks a lot more these episodes too.
That's how he
don't
talks
tell,
more.
Don't tell my doctor. Anyway,
That's how we try
just
to get Cannon on.
just the impact that I hope we're making on the racing world locally, and being involved as much as we are, it's more than just coming down here and talking the talk and trying to meet with people and share their story necessarily and our story, but racing is clearly finding its way out of this world faster than any of us, I think, ever really anticipated. And a lot of it has to do with urban sprawl and all that, and I mean it's kind of a dying sport if you look at the way kids are being brought up than what they used to be, and going down to PRI, it was kind of nice to see that there is still a very large crowd that wants to go out and race and do motorsport things.
When you do the same track every week like we do, you kind of get in a bubble.
Yeah.
I've heard the same people complain about the same things so many times.
You got to get off Facebook.
Yeah, that's a big of it.
It's a breath of fresh air going down there.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it you said it earlier. It definitely creates excitement. Here we are in the lull of racing. People are out with snowmobiles and talking about working on cars, and then the Dome. Dirt in December.
Oh
that
yeah,
was
we
last
got to
weekend.
shout out Sean Wilcher.
That was
yeah, he was he was
cool.
the star of the Dome, man.
Yeah, and it's just kind of that dead time, and you go down to Indy, and like I said, it's overwhelming. You walk in there, and it's just like, bam, in your face. Motorsports, horsepower, expensive tires.
Expensive everything.
Expensive
true.
everything.
Helmets, T-shirts. There are a couple T-shirts. Chassis and.
Did you get any ideas?
I got a lot of ideas.
How about Larson shirts?
Yeah, working on them. And the littlest thing that you would never really think of, window cleaner. There's a group with like a window cleaner.
Oh yeah, Stan was supposed to talk to Wabam.
The Wabam cleaner guys.
It's just it gets you excited for next year, and what is it, a month and a half, 2 months from now, we're going to be gearing up for the Daytona 500 after our Super Bowl hangover.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
You know, so yeah, it's just the I don't want to say impact. I don't know how much impact we're really making quite yet, but
They make suits and helmets.
shout out, sponsor us. But just the involvement.
Yeah, we need to work on some sponsors. New Year's resolution: find a sponsor.
The involvement into the racing world that I've kind of taken on over the past really 2 years, but the big steps I've made this year with doing a lot of the graphic work with Billy and Tammy and going out to all the different tracks and kind of promoting, hey, like, we don't just shoot Shady Hill and Grundy. You know, there's other tracks.
We've also
in
been
the
to
area,
South Bend and
know.
Plymouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got the banquet coming up end of January.
Yep. But
which we're gonna have to miss a night of King Hobbies for that. I discovered going through the calendar.
Yep.
Tisk, tisk.
I'm gonna miss a points night.
You are. What the heck? No sticker for you.
But yeah,
I made the stickers.
It's been a fun year, and I'm looking forward to next year being that much more fun and more involved. Hopefully, I can be a little more streamlined with things and not spend so much time tied to a computer and an iPad.
You've come a long way in the last year, and that I know from experience that it's you got to figure out as you're working ways to simplify your workflow, which is why I've got so much stuff. And you look at me like, why do you have all these things? Well, it's because I can do this, and then it's done.
Yeah.
Streamline the process.
I'm a caveman when it comes to
you're just inexperienced.
Yeah, right. But we're getting there.
That's it.
Melissa Keys often said, "How do you know how to do that?" Well, because I do it for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
You can design, and I can drive a truck.
Yeah, but you can design too.
Yeah, that's coming.
I don't have a CDL.
Go ahead, say it. TJ shirts, they're coming for the 18th time tonight.
Just want to make sure he knows.
Oh, he knows. Share that video. You ran into me. I'm popular. I'm a somebody to somebody.
Somebody to somebody.
Let's put that on a t-shirt. I gotta do TJ's first, but let's put that on a t-shirt.
There you go. We are somebody to somebody.
There you go.
There it is. And with those very empowering words, we hope you guys have a good holiday season. Enjoy your Christmas, your New Year's, everything else. Just take some time, spend it with the family, the friends, everything else before we get back out in the garage working on race cars. 2024 will be here, both literally and figuratively. Calendar year and race season year will be here before you know it. Time flies when you're having fun. And we hope you've had fun this year with us here at Illiana Stock Car Radio. So for 2023, we are signing out. We will see everybody in 2024.